Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit today on minimizing or avoiding bee stings. Now, if you're not a beekeeper, then my best advice would be to stay out of their hives and don't swat at them. They hate that. Like most species in the natural world, they will fight to defend themselves. So leave them alone and they'll probably leave you alone. Now, if you find that you're walking, in your yard and you're getting dive bombed or stung, then you probably have yellow jackets on your hand and you probably want to call somebody to take care of the nest. Now, if you are a beekeeper, then you have a couple of tools at your disposal. Your first being your smoker. Smoker is good to have for several reasons. I only use my smoker once a month though. The rest of the time I use a handheld spray bottle filled with a quart of water and about 4 tablespoons of Honeybee Healthy. And the essential oils in the Honeybee Healthy are supposed to help calm the bees down. And both of these tools work great at times, but a couple other things. Don't work from directly in front of the hive. Work from the back or the side so that you're not standing right in their flight path for too long. Use slow movements. Don't jostle them or jar them. Try not to crush them. Only get in your hive when the weather is ideal. Now, you never want to get in there when it's raining, but I find that even on days when the rain has subsided, but it's still gray out, my bees are irritable. So I leave them alone on those days and wait till it's nice and sunny. Now, your next line of defense is your gear. You can buy a full suit from any beekeeping supply company, but they're going to run you usually a minimum of $100. So, if you can pick up a veil elsewhere, then you can find other things in your wardrobe to work with. It's important to wear closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes. Your pants should be long enough that they cover the top of your shoes. If there's crevices where the bees can fly into, like your pant legs, your sleeves, then they will, and they'll panic. It's dark and your clothes are pressing against them, and so they'll sting you. So if your pant legs cover the top of your shoes, if they're high-waisted enough, that's also a plus. I use this double-lined rain jacket. Now, in the dead of summer, this outfit is hot. I sweat. But it also protects from mosquitoes, so that's kind of cool. I have this zipped up. My sleeves have elastic, so it's not a huge opening. My veil is kind of an old school veil. It's just a hard hat veil, a really long string. So since this rain jacket has a hood, I put this up before I put my veil on. I don't like to keep the hood on because it's unnecessarily warm. But when it falls down and it's tucked into the veil, then there's a barrier. Where if I left it out of the veil, then there's potentially an opening in there that I don't know about. So with this fully zipped and this string pulled tight, then there's not space for the bees to fly into. Now I take this long string and try to divide it equally. Pull it under my arms, cross it in the back, and then tie it around my waist. Over the jacket, but to where the pants and the jacket overlap. If your pants are low, even though you can't see your stomach, but there's an opening of skin, the bees will sting your stomach. So, the final piece of my gear are my gloves. And there are people who say beekeepers don't need to wear gloves. If you're good at it, then you're not going to get stung. Well, I think that those people have been working with this same genetic line of bees for so long that maybe it's not an issue for them. But if you have a little bit of Russian genetics or a little bit of a mix of defensive bees, then you're gonna have one or two that are fighters, and they're gonna sting your hands. So you can buy your gloves from a beekeeping supply store, but most people don't like those because they're really thick and they inhibit dexterity. I don't like them because they're made out of goat skin. So what I use are dishwashing gloves. The key with the dishwashing gloves is to have an extra long sleeve. If the arm is short and you're tucking it into your jacket, it's going to keep slipping out as you sweat. Now with the extra long ones tucked into this elastic sleeve, it's a complete barrier. These things cost a couple of dollars and they last a really long time unless you tear them. I mean, you can just wear them out. The benefit of these also is you can wash them out and hang them inside out to dry because they do get sweaty. But you can't beat $2 gloves. Now, not getting stung or getting stung is trial and error. And you're probably going to have a couple of errors. If you get stung enough, you develop a tolerance, your sensitivity goes down, but I still try to avoid getting stung. And with this particular outfit, all these components together, I've yet to be stung in this. So hopefully you'll either get used to it or you'll get creative and find ways to avoid it. So I hope that this helps you eliminate some of the error in the trial and error. So best of luck.